What's the reason behind the early closure of numerous retail shops in Hong Kong by 10 p.m.? The streets are eerily deserted. What's conspicuously absent here? I remember the bustling crowds around Temple Street just a couple of years ago. Hong Kong appears to have empty airports due to a lack of tourists. The same thing happened to mainland China. It appears that nobody uses this airport. This was the scene I saw in Hong Kong at about 9 o'clock when I went to the grocery store. Nothing exists, not even rice. There doesn't seem to be much left. How did the street end up there? Look at it now. This used to be quite busy. It feels like a battle zone inside this Hong Kong supermarket. A number of significant causes have contributed to Hong Kong's economic downturn, chief among them being the passage of the National Security Law, which has had a cascading effect on the city's economy and international standing. International investors and local businesses are visibly uneasy about this measure because they fear that Hong Kong's independence and its well-known legal and business environment would be compromised. To make matters worse, Hong Kong's extremely tight anti-pandemic measures, among the strictest in the world, have severely cut off the city from both foreign tourists and mainland China, which is its main source of visitors. The effects are severe. In 2018, Hong Kong welcomed an average of 5.4 million tourists per month before the epidemic, a number that sharply decreased in the following years. The number of tourists arriving has fallen to less than 60% of what it was in 2019. There are a number of reasons behind this decline in Hong Kong's attraction. First, with tensions between China and the U.S. rising, the city's significance as a gateway to China has decreased. Formerly well known for fusing Eastern and Western cultures, Hong Kong provided a forum for global communication. However, its standing as a significant portal for international communication has been damaged by geopolitical disputes. Second, duty-free shopping in Hong Kong is no longer as appealing. Due to its free port position, Hong Kong has historically provided tax-free imports and a large selection of foreign brands at affordable costs. However, Hong Kong's cost advantage is being eroded by mainland China's progressive liberalization and creation of free trade zones, which have given customers access to domestically produced goods at no tariff. Finally, one major barrier to tourism in Hong Kong is the skyrocketing cost of living. Costs associated with lodging have increased and are now higher than they were in 2018. Because consumption costs more during recessions than during booms, Chinese visitors are less likely to indulge in late-night shopping binges in Hong Kong. By 9 o'clock at night, the West Kowloon Mall was all but empty, and several stores had to close. Countless stores shut down. Hong Kong's decline is profound. Hong Kong has no nightlife and is currently incredibly empty. Only the convenience stores are open on the street at this early hour of the evening. The loss of this vital source of tourists has had a negative impact on the hotel, retail, and service sectors that make up the heart of the tourism business. Wealthy tourists used to be the main source of growth for these industries, but in recent years, more budget-conscious tourists have replaced them. The sharp drop in consumer spending and traffic, coupled with Hong Kong's GDP growth slowing to 3.2% in 2023 from previous years, highlight the serious economic challenges the city is facing. Lately, a noteworthy pattern has surfaced in which major companies such as Samsung, Apple, and Mitsubishi Toyota are gradually moving their manufacturing operations out of China, especially from the vibrant metropolis of Hong Kong and towards Southeast Asia and the expanding Indian market. However, how large is this migration? The numbers, surprisingly, tell a powerful story. Foreign investment exceeded domestic investment by a staggering $170 billion in 2021, but things changed dramatically in 2022 when $160 billion in foreign capital was consistently withdrew over the course of 6 quarters, ending in September of the same year. For the first time since the start of economic reforms and opening up, there has been negative net foreign direct investment as a result of this extraordinary capital flight that is unheard of in history. It is well known that the 3 main drivers of GDP growth are exports, investment, and consumption. This equation heavily relies on foreign invested firms, which make up almost half of the entire export value. Over 60% of this value is contributed by places such as Zhengzhou and Henan. These contributions are essential to the computation of our GDP, tax income, and foreign exchange profits. These enterprises contribute a staggering $1.3 trillion to our foreign exchange reserves annually, constituting a significant third of our nation's total. However, it's crucial to recognize that certain imports, such as food, fuel, and semiconductors necessitate payment in US dollars. One might question whether foreign businesses are reaping substantial benefits from our economy. However, the reality is quite stark. Despite generating considerable revenue, a considerable portion is repatriated abroad, resulting in a reduced contribution to our economy. For instance, out of every $100 billion earned by Apple, $70 billion is repatriated, leaving only $30 billion within our economy. The absence of these foreign enterprises would profoundly impact our economic landscape. A mass exodus of residents and a significant decline in press freedom, both of which pose existential threats to the city's future. A substantial portion of Hong Kong's population is choosing to migrate, reflecting deep dissatisfaction with the city's socio-political and economic conditions. More than 40% of residents expressed a desire to immigrate, with countries like the UK, Canada, and Australia being top destinations. This trend raises concerns about a potential brain drain and the erosion of the city's skilled workforce, as well as the weakening of traditional social networks and community bonds due to the growing diaspora. Hong Kong's once cherished press freedom has sharply declined, with the territory's ranking plummeting from 80th to 140th in the World Press Freedom Index. The implementation of the national security law has led to the arrest of journalists and the closure of prominent media outlets like Apple Daily. This crackdown on the free press not only restricts journalistic freedom but also undermines the public's right to access unbiased news, threatening Hong Kong's democratic values and international reputation as a bastion of freedom in Asia. Property meltdown in Hong Kong, falling prices and stock market collapse cause economic crisis. The real estate industry in Hong Kong, a pillar of its economy, faces unprecedented challenges due to factors like the national security law and pandemic control measures. Property values and stock market performance have declined sharply, eroding investor confidence. Home prices have hit a 7-year low, with forecasts predicting further drops in 2024. This downturn affects various sectors and could lead to reduced consumer spending and construction activities. Recovery prospects are bleak, with challenges expected to persist, especially in luxury residential and commercial markets. Hong Kong's property market resilience is being tested, with recovery contingent on economic, social, and political stabilization efforts.